It's one of those weeks where I've got nothing to bring to the table. So in a moment of desperation, I slurped my water, hoping that would be something.
I sensed the quiet, and I similarly was looking around the desk. I was like, surely I've got to have some nonsense here I can bullshit about.
Yeah, I just thought I'd slurp water, and it didn't even pick up very loud on the microphone.
In an office where I have so much absolute tat surrounding me, how is none of it start a show worthy?
Right? I've been writing today about how I've gone back to resisting the use of the word content to describe online media because of how it is playing into what the executive class wants. You know, it wants us to see everything as nebulous content, as intellectual property. And I did that just then. And the only way I could describe what I did just now was content. in a desperate bid to start this podcast with something entertaining, I slurped water. That is pure
That is
content. Distilled content.
On the other end of the scale, we've just come, this is early 2026. We've come back in the new year, and I've decided, hey, what am I going to do differently with quote-unquote content this year? I've decided to take all of the guardrails off of the autism this year, and just allow myself to go wild and make some video essays that no one has asked for that are going to be infinitely too lengthy about things that only I care about. I spent serious time this morning. I wrote a paragraph about one line in the opening song of an album that is a very silly line, and I wrote like a very lengthy paragraph about the serious world-building implications of the line, "Remember when you were a madman? Thought you was Batman." There is important world building context to that line, but that's I'm letting the tism run free today.
Well, I have some content if we need to fill some time.
Always.
Yeah, well, we got to fill time before we actually do the stuff we're here to do. We can't just get to work.
Yeah.
Well, I did pull a box that's just labeled SNES out of my closet. I sent you a photo on the Discord.
Ooh.
Some of these are filthy. A lot of them are miscolored, and I don't know what they are. Oh, okay. Lost Vikings 2. Shit.
Not bad pull at all.
That's a really good one. And it's fun. I think I also have this for Saturn or something, because there was a CD version that has a lot more animations, but they tried to do this almost claymation style stop motion animation for this, as I recall, or maybe it was CG. It looked terrible. Absolutely dog shit, but the for the cinematic stuff, but the gameplay was great because you had a werewolf character in that one, and that was fun. Super Mario World, who gives a shit? Super Ghouls and Ghosts, all right, that's all right.
Good one.
Yeah. Contra 3, I like that one too. Dream TV. I feel like this seems to me like it's a ripoff of Smash TV, but that can't be right. I have no idea what this is. This is just
what TV?
Dream TV.
I like Smash TV.
I like Smash TV too.
Smash TV's great.
I'm looking into this now. It is an action video game where you have to guide two youngsters through a nightmarish land of evil TV shows.
Okay, well.
Okay, so it's Stay Tuned.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, but without the pedo.
Without the wrong one. Yeah.
Why is he everywhere?
On Wikipedia, it says using a similar plot to the Crystal Dynamics video game Gex. Which I guess.
Yeah, it's not wrong. That is an accurate statement.
Yeah.
Illusion of Gaia. Good one. Oh, this is a... I don't know how to pronounce this because I don't read Japanese, but I have a Japanese Popeye game that, if I'm remembering correctly, plays a bit like a board game. I think it's one of those types of deals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at this now. Yes, the Tale of the Sea Hag and
That's
the Wicked
the
Witch.
one, yes.
might be the one.
That's the one. Yeah, that I remember. Well, I remember that being fun, which is why I sought out the cartridge. But that reminds me, we need to figure out if we're ever going to play Dokapon together.
I need to play Dokapon. We're gonna force you to do it, Steph. This is happening.
Yeah, it feels inevitable. It feels like, from everything I've heard, let me just say it's been an honor to be your colleague and your friend.
Yeah,
both of you.
It's been great.
But it will be the end of this.
Yeah, Steph, it's been an honor to be from day one a part of your longest running podcast that hasn't stopped existing. I'm very sorry when we ruin that.
Yeah. By all accounts, though, it won't really be worth it. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to be a win-win. Prince of Persia 2, but I don't think this cartridge actually functions. I think this one's busted. Earthworm Jim 2. Soldiers of Fortune. Oh, I love this. This is
Ooh.
This is the 2-player top-down shoot 'em up in the vein of like Akari Warriors or whatever, but you had all of these stats and secret hidden areas and different character types with unique gameplay. This was great. I still play this from time to time. Love that game. There's a Mega Man X3 in here.
Nice.
That's some of this I might be able to make a little. None of it's in good condition. That's the thing, because they actually got used because I play my fucking games.
Yeah.
How dare you fight with your? How dare you actually use your collectibles?
Right.
They are meant to be pristine and accrue value.
And I got Tetris Attack, which is one of my favorite puzzle games ever. God, that game's fun. Super Punch Out. Is that a? No, I don't have. Do I really have 2 copies of Secret of Mana? No. Okay, I have Illusion of Gaia, Secret of Evermore, and Secret. So I do have them all. There's a Super Metroid. Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
All-time classic.
Yep.
Not a game I've ever found all that enjoyable to play.
No, it's a nightmare to
but
play.
Yeah, I fully respect it as a classic, and before I die, I'm sure I will play it again.
Yes.
I am glad it exists. I always regret thinking it's worth playing.
Well, there was an indie game or someone made or was working on a spiritual successor called Damn, D-A-M-N. And I can't remember what happened to that, if it got finished and came out or not, or if it failed its crowdfunding. But I was really curious to see if there was any interest actually in more of that, because they did 2 of them, and that seemed like enough. Ninja Gaiden Trilogy, which I would still rather play the NES versions than this one. I think they reversed the buttons for the one thing, which is weird. Let's see, Super Bomberman 2. I probably have a multi-tap for that still somewhere. Mega Man X. Super Mario All-Stars. Oh, and last but certainly not least, I have a copy of Demon's Crest. Oh, fuck yeah, I might play that this weekend.
Oh yeah,
Demon's
hell
Crest,
yeah.
That. Oh, I vaguely remember Demon's Crest. Oh, it's the guy with the from Ghouls and What's It, isn't it?
Ghouls and Ghosts, Firebrand, the red armor. This is the second game or third game to feature him, because there was a Game Boy game, Gargoyle's Quest, and then Gargoyle's Quest 2 on the NES, which was basically just Gargoyle's Quest but in color and a little bit expanded. And then Demon's Crest on the Super Nintendo. And they're all really pretty solid games, particularly games that are emblematic of what that platform could be doing. They're all excellent, I think, in that respect. Demon's Crest is interesting because it's one of those games where you can just sort of go off to the last boss when you want to, without doing a lot of the levels. It has a lot of multiple paths and hidden stuff, but you can go and try to take on the boss like right away and then get your ass kicked. Like, it's there for you. I love that kind of thing, especially in an older game. So yeah, that's my little box of SNES stuff I dug out of my closet to kill time.
Good stuff. You remember the box of DS and 3DS games?
I do.
I had, yeah. I've lost it.
Oh no!
I had it on my desk for weeks. Then read them out. Then they were still on my desk for another couple of weeks. Then the Kirby kick happened, and I dusted off the 3DS and have been playing on that quite a bit. And then thought to myself, I should go and casually reach for my little case full of DS games. And now it's nowhere to be fucking seen. No idea where it's gone.
Wow.
Yeah, I really want to play. Like, there's good games in there.
Before we get into the actual meat of the show, which we probably could do at this point, we've waffled for about 10 minutes. We could do it.
Done our duty.
I remembered I've got a thing that I'm pretty sure I've told Steph about before, but I don't know if I've ever told Conrad about before.
God, please do.
So stop me if I have told you this one before, Conrad. I got the delight over the festive break. I saw my parents. I had lunch with my parents over the winter holiday, and they brought up a story that I'm always delighted when they bring it up, because when I bring it up, it sounds like it cannot be real, and when my parents casually bring it up, I get to be like, see, I told you, there were adults in my life at the time who witnessed this story. They told the story of the time that I was suspected of stealing millions of dollars from a foreign government. Have I ever told you this story, Conrad?
I don't think so.
Steph, I must have told you this story, Steph. The international cybercrime I was suspected of.
Rings a bell.
Okay. I'll tell this for context at least. So I'm like 15 at the time, and we get this like big loud knock on the door, very stern knock on the door. A bunch of police, and like police don't show up with like looking like they're in military gear in the UK.
Yeah, that's not common.
Something's wrong when like military looking police show up at your door. We open the door, and they say, hey, if you want to verify what we're about to tell you, you can call 999 and they will confirm for you that this is legitimate. We need to come in and seize all the electronics in your house. And we're like, the fuck is going on? Short version, this is nearly 20 years ago when understanding of Wi-Fi security was a lot less than it is now. What it seems has probably happened is someone went around our neighborhood in their car looking for Wi-Fi routers that had, like, default passwords on them that hadn't been changed since the router was issued. And, you know, you could just try a handful of default passwords and get onto someone's Wi-Fi router. And had used our internet connection to defraud multiple millions of dollars from the government of the Czech Republic. We had been under surveillance for 6 months. We had been under like a proper police surveillance operation. My mum is very certain that her phone had been tapped. Her work phone started like about 6 months prior, running really slowly and weirdly, and the day of this raid, her phone starts working great again. We're pretty sure they rented the house over the road from us to watch us for a while. And they came and they confiscated, like, every internet connectable device in the house. Now, any regular set of parents would be like, no one in this house could have done this. Clearly no one in this house could have done this. A couple of months earlier, there had been a story in the UK press about some autistic person who'd, like, hacked into the Pentagon or something out of curiosity. So my mum goes, no one in this house is computer literate enough to have successfully defrauded millions of dollars from a foreign government. Except our recently autistic diagnosed child. Maybe them.
Wow, just immediately sold you out.
Oh, yeah, she doesn't tell the police, if anyone did it, it's probably this one. But she did sit me down for a conversation that evening and go, I have to ask, did you do it? did you do it? And like, this is like a fun anecdote I get to tell. because, and this is bullshit. It's only because both my parents are police that this is a fun anecdote I get to tell. Because if both my parents hadn't been police and they hadn't been able to, like, ask around other police officers, do these two seem like they did cybercrimes? That we got, like, the knock on the door in the daytime and not the version where it's 2 a.m. and they kick the door down to confiscate everything.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so, and don't get me wrong, like, this is a terrible invasion of somebody's life and privacy, this months-long thing, but there is something, like, kind of satisfying about cops spending, like, 6 months of manpower, actual energy and effort in order to monitor this perfectly normal family doing perfectly normal shit, just waiting for them to try and figure out how they're laundering this check money.
Yeah. So we had to leave the house while they were, like, collecting some of the things. So we're pretty sure they were removing, like, microphones or whatever. They'd probably been, like, full-on spying in the house or whatever. They fully spent 6 months trying to work out whether I had been sat in my room, like, stealing money from the Czech government.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and you see why I was so excited when my parents brought this up at lunch, where I was like, because it doesn't sound like a real story until my parents go, oh, do you remember that time that happened? I'm like, yes, I remember it.
That time
I always sound crazy when I tell it. So yeah, there you go. That's a story that I don't think I've told you before.
Very good.
Right.
Very good.
It's very good.
And, you know, give it another 2 or 3 years once I've reached the 20-year mark, and maybe I go and retrieve that money once I'm really sure the coast is clear.
Once the heat's fully off you.
Yeah, I reckon 20 years is probably the trail's gone cold enough.
Yeah.
Welcome to Podquisition. We got video games.
Yeah.
We talk about them a bit. Who's played some?
Done 3 of them.
I played a game, but it's the same game I played last week, so it's no, sense of urgency.
I played a couple of things. Steph, do you wanna kick us off?
Okay.
I mean, you don't have to. You sound very hard done by.
I just remembered that Code Violet is a game I have played this week.
Do you want to get it out the way? This, what I've seen, 3 out of 10 average review, I think it's currently at.
Yeah, sounds about right. I don't know why this game got the traction and the push it did. Because I played the developer's last game, a game called Quantum Error, some sort of first-person shooter where you're also a firefighter. And it was so bad I didn't review it. Like, it was that level of unpleasant and worthless to myself, to my audience, just that perfect cross-section of this is bad and this is nothing.
I had a quick look out of curiosity. On OpenCritic, 9% of critics recommend. I'm like, ooh.
I'm genuinely surprised. 9% of critics recommend. Like, I'm surprised the number's that high.
I'm surprised too, because I'm looking at the critical reviews and I'm not seeing anything above... The highest is a 5.5 that I can see.
It's got to be some weird thing that their percentiles just do, because it can't be reflective of actual, like, people, because there's nothing good.
Well, I got a 7 out of 10 from Noob Feed.
Noob Feed?
But yeah, previous game was shit.
I'm not one to bandy the word noob around as a pejorative, but in this case... So yeah, Sony seems to have pushed it a bit, giving rise to another, in my opinion, another Life of Black Tiger situation, where you're like, what the fuck? Like, I get that it's a PlayStation exclusive, but are we that desperate now? Are we so desperate for exclusives? We're pushing Code Violet, and are we so desperate for a new Dino Crisis that people paid attention to Code Violet? Because let me tell you, Velociraptors might be in it, but Dino Crisis it is not. This game is a puzzle. The developers tweeted quite a while back that the game would not be coming to PC because they did not want modders on PC being vulgar with their protagonist, which caused a bit of a stir. Seemed weird, and a bit of a weird reason, and I side-eyed it, especially knowing the dev's prior work. And it's even weirder now that, in the run-up to the game's release, where they were selling it based off of the sexy pre-order outfits that you can wear, complete with camel toe, the hard mode, the difficulty modes have cute titles, and hard mode is called Sexysaurus Rex. This game is desperate to be the next Stellar Blade. That's what I get from all of this. With the focus on costumes, the focus on sexiness, which, mate, with a game that looks this bad, titillation is not the way to go, because you can't knock one out to this. Not when you, like, have Stellar Blade already. If you want to knock it out to a video game, you've got many alternatives that actually look nice. Also, like, the dinosaurs and everyone else moves like broken marionettes, yet the jiggle physics on her ass are exquisite. Again, the priorities seem to say a lot. So, it tries to look a bit like Dino Crisis, only insofar as there are dinosaurs. It's pushing the Stellar Blade marketing thing, and in many ways it plays like the most stripped down version of the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes, complete with, like, just the way a key is animated when you put it in a door and stuff like that. Like, really close ties. The only problem is it is all shit. It is almost majestically dreadful. I'll tell you the best bit about the game. The best bit about the game is it is so incompetent that when you reload a save, every single item that was spawned in the world returns. You can absolutely break this fucking game in a matter of minutes. The first save room you find, there is a super rare stealth item in the very next room. SMG ammo on the couch in the save room. Another stealth item a little further down, and a bunch of crafting and money that you use to upgrade stuff. And because the game was hell to reach that point, because outside of save rooms, the checkpoints are very few and far between, and death, you can die in an instant and not even know why. I literally died from nothing at one point. I don't know if I had the bleed status, but the game hadn't, like, audio visually registered it, so I didn't know, or what. But I just keeled over and died and lost 20 minutes of game. But because it is so incompetent, I now have my inventory is full, and the storage trunk in the save room is full, with all of, like, high-end healing items and stealth items and enough ammo to... And even if I run out, I can just reload a few times to replenish. So effectively, I've got infinite ammo on any gun I want. And I can reload to get as much money as I want to upgrade them. And so I've got max damage on my infinite ammo shotgun and my infinite ammo SMG and my infinite ammo assault rifle.
Well, that sounds like it fixes the problem. Everything's fine then.
Well, that's it. Like, the game is so bad, but you kind of don't have to play it, so 10 out of 10? The rest of it, like, the incompetence is staggering. Like, not only does it just feel shit, like in terms of basic gameplay, it is the kind of Unreal Engine slime that you would find in the deep bowels of Steam. Like, just that level, like, it just about functions. You point the gun, you shoot the gun. Except the dinosaurs don't really register any hits, and when they die, they kind of deflate and then fall over a bit, and because the animations, aside from the arse, are, like, awful. The gameplay is dreadful. Like, there's only one type of puzzle I've seen so far, which is the worst game of Simon. Like, the most simplistic version you could think of. Obviously buggy as hell. If you quit to the main title screen, your HUD might come along for the ride. What else is there? If you set the brightness up, which I recommend, but then close the game and come back, the menu will show the brightness as set up, but you will have to reduce the brightness and then put it back up to get it to register, because otherwise it will go on default. And there's a lot of stuff like that, where this game will just set things to default. until you take them off and on again. There's a photo mode, and it's amazing because these devs do not know how to do anything, let alone a photo mode. Again, the HUD will come along for the ride, things will still be moving. They always start off in black and white. As near as I can tell, there is not a black and white filter in the photo mode. You've got to go to filters, click to the next one, then click back to off to get colour.
Oh.
And it's just full of little things like that. There's stealth. It's something. After a while, I fought my way through the first facility to find a very small outdoors area before I went to the next facility area. There are patches of grass and velociraptors walking backwards and forwards with a vague serving suggestion of a walking path. They seem to go back and forth in what's intended to be a pattern, but will randomly veer off. Sometimes in the grass that you're crouched in. And when they do that, they don't see you at all, because when you're in grass, it is treated as fully invisible. Even if the dinosaur walks through your character model, which has delighted me no end. The AI in general is an absolute joke. Like, the Dilophosauruses will try and spit at you through solid objects. The Velociraptors will get stuck on things constantly. The only real sort of difficulty to it is the animations are so broken. It's really hard to dodge because they'll lunge and you'll naturally dodge, but then the animation might stutter a bit and it'll hit late, so you'll take the damage. Even a glancing hit will take like 20 to 40% of your HP. But, you know, you can farm for as many healing items as you want, so there's that. There is a really annoying bleed status that constantly appears, sort of almost at random, but with a very high chance. So you got to constantly use tourniquets, otherwise you lose your max HP, which you can only get back with an item that would have been rare, but that currently isn't. It's dreadful. Like, it's just plain dreadful. Fuck awful, fuck ugly, and absolutely baffling that they got this far. Suffice to say, they lucked out with Code Violet as opposed to Quantum Error in terms of getting eyes on it. But I think getting eyes on this has put paid to any attempts to get publicity in the future. Because anyone who was fooled into thinking this might be good, you are immediately it's so immediately bad. Yeah, that's Code Violet. I am going to publish a review of it.
It sounds pretty fucking exhausting.
Yeah, many and varied are the ways it's broken. True incompetence, like real sort of clown college amateur hour. Yes, these guys can technically be called developers, but only just level of game design. Yeah, not good.
Oh no. What have I played? I played a board game adaptation of a video game this weekend.
I love those.
Yeah, so I played through my first game of the Frostpunk board game, which, Frostpunk the video game, punishing, miserable strategy game about the world is dying, the Ice Age is basically coming, and you're in the north of the UK as everything gets colder and you're barely keeping like a tiny little society warm enough to not freeze to death. But now in board game form. This is one that we got over Christmas, and we sat down to try and learn it on a day where both me and Jane, initially, we tried to sit down and learn it on a day where both me and Jane were ill, and that was the wrong day to try and learn this board game, because it is one of those video game to board game adaptations that, while not that overly complicated once you understand what you're doing, looking at the instruction booklet and the table that has like 15 different... You've got, like, here is all the hexes for where your city's going to be that you're trying to keep everyone alive, and here's, like, 12 to 15 different meters that go around the outside of that for, you got to manage whether your people are sick, whether your people are hungry, whether they're warm enough, whether they're upset or hopeful or despairing right now, or what kind of expeditions are they off on, or what levels of, like, what ongoing threats does your community have. And when you initially look at it, it feels like too many things to take in. And I don't think it helps The board game thinks it's being helpful by giving you these, like, two-sided, double-sided A4 sheets per player to go, for each of the 12 phases that make up a round of gameplay, here is, like, a 2-page explanation of, like, your responsibilities of what you should be upkeeping. And it just gets overwhelming. Once we put that aside and went, here is one little card that just tells us the steps of, like, the turn order, and we'll just look it up in the book if we need to look up how something works. Ultimately, it's not that bad. It is one of these board games that, like, it is a co-op game in the vein, it's got a very similar flow to it to playing something like Pandemic, where you initially jump in, and in the early game, you are absolutely trying to put out fires left, right, and centre, and you don't have enough time to do anything. You find a little equilibrium in the middle where you think you're on top of things, and then, oh wait, the end of things is actually way closer than I thought it was. That was a bit of false hope I got in the middle. I've got to go back into this panicked rush for resources again. Some of the things that make the Frostpunk board game really unique that I really like, one of your central mechanics is keeping this generator running, where basically you've got this sort of hex-based city layout, and the further away from your generator that things are in your city, the warmer your generator needs to be for people to not basically get ill from getting too cold going out to different hexes to do things. Getting coal for your generator is this, like, big ongoing problem that's going to get harder and harder to do as this game goes on. The generator is a tower that when you put coal into it, you drop coal in the top of this tower, and there are a series of little ledges inside it. So coal that's dropped in might not make it to the bottom each turn. Your generator can break down if too much coal comes out the bottom of it at once. So you're trying to pump as much heat into it as possible to keep everything warm, and playing this sort of gambling game of how much of the coal do you think has tumbled down enough that when you open the drawer this round, it'll be in the drawer. Anytime that you drop coal in and fewer pieces of coal come out the bottom, that's great right now, but it means you've got a ticking time bomb of a future turn I only put a few coal in, and like 8 are going to come out. That's a really cool mechanic, I very much like that. It feels very much in line with something like This War of Mine in terms of the way that this game handles making tough decisions that are going to come back and bite you in the arse later. Every round you've got cards that come up that are like, someone in your community has come forward and complained about, I don't know, they're paranoid about the fact that they don't think you're stockpiling enough fuel to keep them warm in the upcoming cold season. You can make big promises to them that will make your community happy right now, but are going to have them be way harsher on you later in what they expect of you. Or you can make them very little promises right now and not have big expectations to live up to, but have growing discontent in this moment. You can start instituting laws that will maybe get you benefits right now, but will have consequences down the line, such as one of the first ones me and Jane did was putting in charge, child labour's going to be acceptable in this society. Because we've got these little extra meeples for this worker placement game that are children, and they're just sitting around eating food and not doing anything for us. We could get like 3 or 4 extra actions around if we're happy to put the children to work. Lots of these little micro choices where it's like, I know this is it's going to be terrible when I have to say out loud what I want us to do this turn. But yes, I do want to put the children into work, and I don't care that we just turned a card over that's like, there's parents' lobbies coming forward saying that children should be allowed to just be children, and we're going to have to shut them down, because I'm not losing my 3 to 4 extra workers around. It was like a 5-hour first game of this, and it was bloody great. It is thematically quite heavy, but it's the kind of co-op game that gets you to say things that you then have to stop and go, that sounded really bad, didn't it? I think very early in playing this, Jane did have a round where she went, would it be the worst thing if we just let all the children die? Because they're not doing anything for us. And it's just mechanically, you're like, well, because in your head before you say it, it's like, yeah, well, if that number goes down, I'm going to have less to worry about. So, like, what if we made that number go down? Oh, God, that number's the children. So, yeah, Frostpunk board game. Bit intimidating initially to look at. honestly a very good, tense co-op worker placement game. What about you, Comrade? What have you been playing?
Oh, more of Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo, which continues to be a just delightful time. I'm I think 60% or so completed with it now.
I started playing it this week based on your recommendation, and yeah, this game's real good.
It's real good, and these kinds of games that will introduce, new abilities and so forth, and then give you the instruction on how you're supposed to deploy that. I love the way this does it because it shows you immediately, hey, here's 4 or 5 ways that this new ability that you've just acquired are going to be deployed in the future immediately. Like, here's one, here's another, here's another, here's another, across a series of rooms immediately after you get it. It's not just one room and you get to learn one thing and then down the road you'll figure it out on your own, or it gives you a better example. It lays it out for you right away. Here are all of the ways in which this is going to be deployed in future, so and there's no excuse. Now, the flip side of that is because every ability has multiple deployment uses and little rules associated with them, sometimes remembering which ability to use or keeping track of how they all fit together can be overwhelming when you're faced with a puzzle where you're looking at it, just like, I have no idea how I'm supposed to get to the other side of that. And not only is it possible that you have the abilities to do it, you may have had them for a long time and you've forgotten some application along the way that makes this movement possible. But that's okay, because every time you finish one of those complex puzzles where you're switching from one ability to the next and using them all as intended in one seamless motion, feels fucking incredible. Feels great. It's a solid game. I just did a boss that was really annoying. I'm at a point where they've introduced an enemy type that deploys a shield to other enemy types, and that is very annoying. But that's another thing about this game too. When it introduces a new enemy type, it will show you all of the ways that enemy type works, which is nice. Like, it's you get that one encounter where you'll have 1 or 2 of them, so you have a little bit of time to figure out what they're going to do before they get fit in with everything else, and you have to figure out how to account for all of them too. Like, the writing in it is fun. I'm still a little bit baffled as to where this is going to wind up, because I do kind of feel like we have an immovable object with one character, and it's going to require... Anyway, point is, there's an area in this game that's making some topical humor, some current events humor, that it's funny to see games from the last year make crypto jokes, make blockchain, NFT jokes, virtual real estate jokes, something that is now 2 years dead.
Yes, the world is moving too quickly for current events.
Yeah, and but it was still funny, and I didn't mind. It was a little member berry. Oh, member the metaverse.
You could get 6 to 7 years out of, say, Bill Clinton playing a saxophone.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
You could get 6 to 7 years out of I Am Not a Crook. You could get decades out of I Am Not a Crook.
Yeah, we're still that's still paying dividends.
Yeah, but now, I mean, there's too much for the current thing in charge. Like, there's no one thing you can point at for that. And then every other topical joke that would last, it doesn't last now. Topical really does mean if you don't put it in your game in the next 30 minutes and then patch it out tomorrow, you're out of date, friend.
Yep. And that's why you write about milk.
That's why I write about milk. Timeless and irrelevant. That's me.
Irrelevant, but equally irrelevant tomorrow as it will be today.
Right, not diminishing.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, so Pipistrello is still good. I still encourage people to check it out.
I'm very glad I checked it out based on your recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm digging it so far.
What about you, Steph?
Still on the Kirby thing. I've just been going through all of them, really, now. Fully committed to Kirbying. This time, it was one I haven't played before, was the main new thing that I can talk about, which is a game called Kirby's Dream Buffet.
Oh,
which is one of the ones I just sort of wrote off.
This is one that I don't know that I'm even at all familiar with.
This is the one on Switch, right? Where you're a little ball eating up food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, it's
their attempt at doing a Fall Guys, kind of.
Sort of, but very...
Very simple.
Very
I think it's free as well.
It's not free. That's actually one of the reasons I wrote it off, was because around that time they were looking at like different free-to-play things, or free-to-start as Nintendo calls them.
Yeah. How much was it then?
It's like 15 quid.
I'm looking at it now. Yeah, 14. Wow, £14 is.
It's a bit much, to be honest.
£14 a bit.
Now that I've played it,
I haven't played it in a while. £14 feels a bit much from what I remember thinking back on it.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like, now that I've actually played it, it's fun for 15 minutes.
If it were free, I would tell people to check it out, but yeah.
Yeah, and obviously at this point of things, I'm getting into online matches, but I'm pretty sure it's doing a Mario Kart tour or whatever, that one, the mobile one, where they're populating it with bots made to look human. Like, they're just telling me that they're human. I genuinely can't tell. It is fun for that 15 minutes. It's a cute idea.
The gist is it's all like courses you're rolling through trying to eat food, and at the end they weigh all of you, and it's who's the heaviest big ball of Kirby with cake around their mouth at the end.
And it's great. Big swollen Kirby breaking the scales is great. The premise is cute, you know, being the little Kirby ball and rolling around on like big cakes and on frying pans and like just big food-based stuff. I like the customization, like the different colors and outfits, so you can get like make Kirby look a bit like King Dedede or Meta Knight or what have you. Marx's hat is at like level 99 or something, and this game does not have the longevity for me to get Marx's hat, and I'm really steamed about that. I'm not happy about that. I'm just not going to get it, and that's the one I want. But there is a button that makes Kirby go hi on command, so it wins for that, because I genuinely compulsively smile whenever I hear hi. I love that. But aside from that, not a lot to report on it. I have been playing a bit more of Kirby in the Forgotten Land. I have decided, because it was on this podcast, I think I spoke quite a bit about it, where it was one of those games I liked, but always had to make the point along with it that it's not my favourite. It's still not my favourite. I don't even know what that is at this point. But it's replaying it, I've come to like it to the point where I no longer feel I need to add that qualifier.
Okay.
And I think part of that was like protectiveness about the 2D ones, and having seen Breath of the Wild and now the mandate that like everything to do with Zelda almost, like we got Echoes of Wisdom, but like all the Warriors games and that, like, everything has to tie into that one thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that for Kirby because it's such a varied series.
And to their credit, they have continued to put out, like, 2D stuff around it. This doesn't seem to be what they've locked Kirby into.
No, you know, we got the Return to Dreamland redo, and I think Dream Buffet came out after Forgotten Land.
I believe so, yeah.
So they are still committed to the experimentation, which is, you know, one of the best things of the series is how it... I love the 2D ones, but that it experiments and has so many genuinely clever and inventive spin-offs is great. And I don't want to lose that. But, yeah, Kirby in the Forgotten Land is fucking great. Like, it just is really
It really
good.
is. I do love it so much.
One of the things I like about it is, unlike the 2D games, because it's 3D, something psychologically makes me use blocking and dodging a lot more.
Yeah.
So, I love the weird, like, the bouncy backflip he does, but I never do any of that in the 2Ds.
Yeah.
I think I'm just in sort of 2D platformer mode and don't think about it.
I do really like the ways that it hides things just out of view for, like, hiding secrets and things. It's got really smart design based around knowing your fixed camera angles in 3D, and how much you're going to play around with areas you can't quite see directly.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really nice.
Yeah. It's got really nice boss fights, which a lot of those I find hit and miss in the 2Ds, often just because the copy abilities, not a great deal of them are good with bosses.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, there are a couple of good abilities, but also the vanilla Kirby, the star spitting is remarkably strong in this one, even by series standards.
The boss fights aren't generally difficult, but they don't really need to be. They are fun. They're fun set pieces in a similar way to something like the Astrobot boss fights. Not the toughest thing, but I remember a lot of them.
Yes, like they are very memorable. I mean, Chloraline is such a fun boss to fight, such a fun character design that has probably made a few new furries in the world. But yeah, and I love the evolved copy abilities. My one wish there is I wish you could keep the evolution, but have the option to use the visuals of an earlier version.
Yeah.
Because I do like the sword evolution that turns you into Meta Knight. And I love just how almost broken the hammer is when you get the mask hammer version. But
you still want to look like Kirby.
I want to see Kirby's cute face.
Yeah.
And having him cosplay as like Meta Knight the whole time, like it's a novelty, but I want those stats and I want that awesome slashy ability without having his face covered by Meta Knight's mask the whole time. But it is a minor thing. Plus, so many of the copy abilities, so many of their evolutions are such a visual treat in terms of the design. Like the cutter, the drill, the second form of the drill being two little, like, a stubby pencil with a pencil sharpener. Or there was one copy ability, there was one evolution I didn't get when I last played it, and still had that to go. And I got that evolution, and I need to commission someone to make the Deep Sleep hat. Kirby's Deep Sleep outfit is to die for. Big plush moon, like, it's so fucking good.
Looks dressed for the best night's sleep imaginable.
Mm-hmm. I love the final evolution of the tornado as well, like the big black storm cloud with
bouncing
like,
around,
internal lightning. The spike is not a great ability in any of the games, but I've always just liked it, and I really like all of the evolutions of the spike, especially the last one that's all like crystal shards jutting out.
Oh god,
it just looks really pretty.
It's not practical, but I do enjoy being a murderous Katamari.
Yes. On that note, the other thing I kind of hope... I hope we see it if they do another 3D one, which I'm almost certain they will, considering how that's sold. I understand why the copy abilities have gone back to being very simple in terms of combos and variety of moves. In the 2D space, the way they work with the simpler control scheme, like, you can get a lot more out of it, but I would like to see a bit more, because they really stripped it back. And one of the fun things about the later 2D games is you get a new ability, and there's so much to try, so much to, like, do with it.
The one I really liked, what was the one earlier on the Switch generation where you could get two different abilities and combine them into, like, a combo ability?
I think that was a DS game. I think that was Squeak Squad.
It might be Star Allies I'm thinking of?
Star Allies is the one where you... Oh, right.
Yeah, this was the one where
we were
could...
talking at cross purposes. Is this... You mean like where you can put elements on the copy?
I think it was... You could force two abilities to combine by, like, throwing a heart at an enemy that would give you a copy ability, and it changes the copy ability you currently have to be sort of a combo one.
It doesn't do that.
Am I wrong? It's been a while since I played it.
I think you might be mixing elements of, I think, Squeak Squad with Star Allies. Star Allies has the hearts that you throw, but it turns the enemy into a helper, and they become your little buddy. and then you can get up to 3 characters out of almost every enemy in the game. Any enemy that would give you a copy ability. What you can do is, like, say, if you've got Kirby with the sword ability, you can hold the sword up, and if you've got an enemy, an ally that can do fire damage or something like that, it will blow fire on the swords to make a fire sword. So there is some basically elemental additions.
Okay, it may just be elemental. I think this is the one I was thinking of.
Maybe, yeah. Star Allies is very good. I've been replaying a bit of that during this sort of Kirby thing that I'm on. And I've mentioned that Marx is like one of my favourite Kirby characters, and I didn't play a great deal of Star Allies after it had its updates. So they added a whole bunch of other characters that could be allies. So you've got Magalore, you've got Marx, Susie, like a whole bunch of antagonists and stuff from the previous games. And they've got the guest star mode where you can play through a bunch of levels as any enemy, or once you do it with one enemy, then any of the, what they call the Dream Friends, the actual named characters. So there is a little campaign where you can play as Marx, and I've been delighted by that. And the movesets they give them, like every single one of those characters has such a cool moveset, like really overpowered at points. Like playing as Marx, you can split him in half and create a big black hole in the middle of you that just sucks up everything. And then they just let you do that. And like as Magalore, you can use the sword from Return to Dreamland, like the giant screen clearing one, stuff like that. Yeah, Star Allies is very good. Great post-game content. You know, you want to talk about like how the main game is easy, quote unquote. Not that we've talked about that, but you can find the difficulty in games. For as much as you could potentially trivialize Star Allies by having 3 powerful co-oping allies, in some cases that won't help you in some of the other modes that could be really punishing. But yeah, Star Allies is really fucking good. I mean, there's just, I don't...
The Kirby series is just wonderful, yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing through Dreamland 2, the Game Boy one as well. I got the bad ending and need to go back and collect the bits for the good ending and the actual proper final boss. But that's been fun.
Yeah.
The old Game Boy ones are cute. It was the one where you can ride on the hamster's back and get carried by the owl and be in the bouncy fish's mouth. Yeah. God, Kirby's good. I love me some Kirby.
Isn't it just?
Poyo!
Other than that, the only other game I've been playing this week that I'll quickly brush through, I've started properly playing through Octopath Traveler 0. That game's really good. You were right to recommend it as highly as you did, Steph. I'm having a great time. I really like the cheesy voice acting of the some of the villains. It's been really fun.
Marvelous.
Really endearing cast of characters from very early on. I'm very invested in that story, and the whole ability to unlock special abilities for your characters in whatever order you choose and to be really flexible about how you build, really nice. I am surprised this was a mobile free-to-play game, because I'm enjoying this more than I have the previous Octopaths. This is the one that's really getting me. And the other one I've been playing is Yakuza Kiwami, which is the remake of the first Yakuza.
Oh, I remember that.
All I have to say about Yakuza Kiwami is about 5 hours in, my god, Kiryu cannot get a break from walking into a room, there being a dead body, and him being assumed to be the one that killed it. I'm 5 hours in, and I think we're up to 3 or 4 times that Kiryu has walked into a room, someone is dead, someone else walks in the room and goes, "You must have killed them." I think my favourite being the one where he walks into a room and the man is alive, someone snipes him from a tower somewhere else away, other people walk in the room and go, "Well, there's a dead body and you're the only one here with it."
I love Yakuza.
This man cannot get a break. He is assumed to have done, I think, like 7 murders at this point, where his crime was he opened the door. I love this man. He's...
Just wait till you hear about the plot line where they think he's stolen millions from the Czech government.
Yes. But yeah, the other thing I will say for the early game of Yakuza Kiwami is Haruka, the little girl from the orphanage that you spend a lot of that game looking after. they do a really good job of making her, like, a very hard to dislike child character. It never feels like it is a nuisance that she is around. It very much justifies, like, by the time you get way later in that series and Kiryu is fucking ruining his life to protect the orphanage left, right, and center, Kiwami does do a good job of making me go, I can see why he is this willing to protect this one orphanage as much as he is. This is a great face to have put on that lifelong struggle for him.
Yeah. I remember her being really likable, and what people don't remember about, like, trying to have a likable child character is not only does it, like, is it good for that character, it's great for the protagonist doing the protection, because if you make an annoying child character, sometimes you're like, why the fuck would this person go out of their way? Whereas Kiryu, who is always being pushed as this, he's just such a stand-up fucking guy, and having such a likable child character to protect, you are with him every step of the way.
She is such a likable child character that I don't care that one of the first, like, actual bits of gameplay you do with her is, oh no, this dog, he's dying, he needs dog food. You go and get dog food. Oh, he won't eat it. He must be too thirsty to eat it. Go get a bottle of water. Oh, he can't drink the bottle of water. You're going to have to go get him a paper plate to drink the water from. Third trip to the same fucking shop. And I don't hate her. And I'm like, the fact that I don't hate her, I've had to do 3 round trips because she didn't just tell me the list in advance, I think is a credit to how well written she is. Also, having played Yakuza 0 and Kiwami, like, back to back, Kiwami really works better with Yakuza 0 before it. So much of Kiwami expects you to care about characters like Nishiki, who is Kiryu's, like, sworn brother, and Majima, like, very suddenly, without much real build-up. I really do think Yakuza 0 does a way better job of building those characters up alongside Kiryu to the point that I just think Kiwami works way better with that bit of a ramp in. So yeah, should we talk a bit about some news before we wrap up?
Oh,
I don't see why not.
let us.
Steph, I know you're itching to talk about one of these this week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to jump in first?
I'll do the honors. So that Tim Sweeney's a bit of a prize tit.
He really did a thing that no one forced him to do this week, huh? No one asked him to do it, and he sure did it.
So yeah, Tim Sweeney, we have talked about him in recent times. This guy is completely willing to debase himself for the machine god that we call AI. I'm pretty sure he is prepared to say anything, no matter how humiliating, to look after what I assume is his investment.
It's either his investments or he is convinced that AI is, like, imminently about to become self-aware and he wants them to like him.
I mean, let's face it, compared to Tim Sweeney, AI is already self-aware. Aha! So yeah, senators are calling, it is said, for the removal of Twitter from Apple and Google because of Grok. That being Twitter's AI, the one that Elon Musk has explicitly gamed to basically feed into fascist talking points.
The one that has been in the news recently because it is very willing to generate naked images of people. Specifically also, it was, for at least for a little while, surprisingly okay with creating child exploitation images, to which the solution that Elon Musk came up with was, well, we're going to worry less about fixing it, and we're going to put it behind a paywall. So now you've got to pay to access. Yeah, now you've got to pay to access the child exploitation image machine.
Oh shit, we've clearly got a market here. This is hot. People are going to want to get on this quick. Yeah.
On the subject of being okay with sexually explicit child images, Tim Sweeney.
A man who was not forced to defend the robot that makes child abuse images.
Have to do this.
No one held him at gunpoint and said, please promote the child sex abuse robot.
He responded to calls to curtail this with Reason number 42 for open platforms: to shut down every politician's incessant demands to all gatekeepers to censor all of their political opponents. Yeah. He followed that up with: all major AIs have documented instances of going off the rails. All major AI companies make their best efforts to combat this. None are perfect. Politicians demanding gatekeepers selectively crush the one that's their political opponent's company is basic crony capitalism, which fuck you do.
Oh my god.
Like, do not appropriate words for the shit you are knee-deep in.
First of all, saying that every AI goes off the rails is not the defense of AI you think it is.
No. He's really close to saying some deaths are necessary to keep our Second Amendment rights.
And also, he uses like, well, sometimes mistakes happen, sometimes things go wrong. If I make a mistake, it's like, oh, I didn't scrub the dishes after dinner quite well enough, and there's a bit of a mark on it tonight. That's when I make a mistake. When Grok makes a mistake, it makes an image of a child that should not be made because it is bad.
Yeah.
It's not the same kind of mistake. Some mistakes are more harmful than others.
And even outside of that, like, it's bad enough that revenge porn is such a popular thing for it. Like, fuck's sake, I've been seeing the stories that have been coming up recently about, like, the suicides that ChatGPT have helped facilitate. Like, this stuff's hurt people, killed people.
I was reading one the other day about a teenager who was trying to use ChatGPT as, like, their... I'm starting taking drugs, give me advice on what are safe amounts and, like, safe ways for me to do drugs where I won't get addicted or I won't overdose, and it gave him shit advice and he died. Like,
yeah,
this shit is killing people.
Like, when you look at how, like, ChatGPT, for example, operates, you know, like everything algorithmic that's run by these technocrats, they exist for engagement. They don't care about accuracy, they don't care about safety, they want to keep you engaging with them by any means. And if that means feeding into a delusion, if that means cutting you off from outside help, if that means isolating you from your family or convincing you to not see a doctor if you're unwell, it will do it. And it's not going off the rails. Like, I push back on that, like what Sweeney says. It's not going off the rails. It's doing what it's made to do. It is...
Yeah.
It might be dispensing wrong advice. It might be hurting people. It might be stealing. But it is doing what the people who benefit from it want it to do.
Grok is only able to generate naked images of people because it was fed a shit ton of images of what naked people look like. There is no reason the social media AI bot needed to be fed images of naked people, that other than if you wanted it to know how to generate images of naked people. Like, it doesn't accidentally have that ability. At some point, you fed it the data that it needed to do that.
And that's not to say that there aren't practical reasons to feed something like, well, I mean, apart from the impracticality of all of this fucking nonsense, but, like, there is a case to be made for naked bodies being in the system for one reason, or there's a lot of reasons that it could be there. But the fact of the matter is that it is there, and it is being used for this purpose, and there is nothing to prevent that.
Yeah, you don't put that data in without putting guardrails in to stop it being misused. And if you put the data in and you don't put proper guardrails in place, that's on you. You made the machine that was capable of regurgitating nudity on people who didn't ask to be nude on the internet.
Yeah. And the special fucking treatment AI is getting, where, you know, legislators have decided, no, that can plagiarize. That can steal. That doesn't need regulation. Like, I look at fucking Keir Starmer over here in the UK, fucking allowing AI to run rampant, right? While at the same time trying to decide where we can shit in public. Like, AI has killed people. It is linked with several ghastly deaths. trans people haven't, like, been up to shit. There's no documented instance of us, like, doing a violence in the toilets. Only having violence done honest in the toilets. But which one is Keir Starmer concerned about? Because AI gets special fucking treatment. Like, I was thinking about that the other day, and it absolutely fucking infuriated me. The imagined events can cause attempted legislation, whereas documented events cannot, because AI gets to be an exception. Anything these fucking technocrats wants gets to be an exception. And fucking Sweeney wasn't done. Discount John Major wasn't done, right? No one made him do this bit either. No one made him accuse PC Gamer of a vile lie. Which is how I found out about this story.
And props to that PC Gamer writer, Ted Litchfield. This piece is just so perfectly scathing.
Yeah.
In a way that, like, it while still demonstrating a level of professionalism that I would not be capable of deploying under this topic.
I think that's why this is the one he had a go at.
Oh, of
because
course.
It's the most reasonable kind of thing. So PC Gamer did an article about everything, and the tweet that accompanies PC Gamer's story reads, Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney argues banning Twitter over its ability to AI generate pornographic images of minors is just gatekeepers attempting to censor all of their political opponents. That is true.
Yeah.
That is an accurate report. So Tim Sweeney hits back with, this is a vile lie by PC Gamer. I criticised a government official for pressuring Apple and Google to block a speech app, which one of my followers on Blue Sky pointed out. He didn't say free speech, which is telling. Block a speech app owned by their political opponent. Deplatforming 500 billion users on the pretense of stopping a small number of users from distributing disgusting content.
Yeah.
And I interpreted that as, this is a vile lie. All I did was say what you quoted, but you should have rewritten it to try and diffuse the utter stupidity of what I said.
Hey, Tim Sweeney, if we could lessen the amount of child exploitation images in the world by kicking everyone off of Twitter, that sounds like a fucking win-win to me.
Yeah, like, it's not even a free speech app. Like, it's not even a free speech issue. You admitted it by omission, my friend, by calling it a speech app, because you and your fucking nerdsy buddies all know that you never wanted free speech to begin with. You wanted your speech. A speech app. Honestly, out of all the stupid shit he's been saying the past few days, when that was pointed out that that's what he said, I think that's the most telling part of the entire thing, in terms of self-reporting and telling you how he sees things. There's no way that was an accident. He knows it's not free speech. He knows that's not what Twitter is about, and he likes it like that. And just, what a pathetic man. How old are you, man? Like, grow the fuck up. Randy Pitchford did this better. You're not going to beat the master at this kind of stuff, at having a go at games journalists in weird and baffling ways that you never had to do. Just rewording what was said to just, like, soften it. And that's what he expected. That's what he expects people to do. Either that or just do what I'm doing, which is, like, slag him off to the point where he can ignore it. That PC Gamer article must have really stung him. Good. I can't wait to see the hives.
Yeah.
The poster chump for how AI disintegrates the brain. That is also what I have been calling him. He's a comprehensive moron.
That he is.
And I don't mind saying that. Like, I do try and be professional sometimes, but as I've said before, if you're going to bat for this shit, fuck you. You are backstabbing every artist that made you money, you cunt.
So there's one other story this week I want to put on the docket, and I'm putting it here purely because I've seen a bunch of people completely misinterpret what this story is, and I think it's really important to clear this one up. There was a ruling related to the current lawsuit between Rockstar and the union workers who feel they were fired for unionizing. What I've seen a bunch of people interpreting it as is, oh, Rockstar won, the court found that they didn't union bust. That is a million miles away from what happened, and I think it's really important to clear this one up. What happened on January 12th, so a couple of days before we're recording this, the IWGB, which is the union representing the workers, had made a petition basically to be granted something called interim relief, which is basically, hey, if you look at like some of the basic facts of this case, Judge, and you think that our case is strong enough that you are very confident that it will succeed, and that like it will be a matter of how much we succeed, not whether we succeed. Interim relief would be, please compel Rockstar to put these workers back on payroll until this matter is resolved in the courts. It is a very high bar to clear, but it would have done a few things if successful. It would have meant that the workers who are currently trying to fight this would have an income while, trying to fight this legal case. It would importantly be very helpful for people who were working for Rockstar on visas to be able to stay in the country until this is resolved. But it is a very high bar to clear, because to my understanding, getting interim relief basically only happens if the judge looks at your case and goes, there is no doubt in my mind you will win, it's just a matter of how much. They lost this case for interim relief. That does not imply that they will lose the case against Rockstar for unfair dismissal. It basically means proving unfair dismissal is going to be a lower bar than getting interim relief. Interim relief basically needs the case to be a bit of a foregone conclusion. That was not met, and that really fucking sucks, because it means that a lot of these workers are going to have to rely on financial support from the union. It means some of these fired workers are not going to be able to stay in the country until the matter is resolved, and that really fucking sucks. This is not Rockstar was found not to have union busted these workers. That is still a long way off.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
Nope, that's
I
pretty much
mean,
what it is.
many people will find fucking ways to, but
Indeed.
I'm not
I only bring this up because this past week I've had like 3 different people message me to ask if that's what, so the union workers lost their case, and I'm like, no, that's not what happened, and I feel like I need to use this platform to clear it up. So it is not good news, but it's not bad news for the overall case. So yeah, that's probably enough for news for us this week.
All right.
Well, there may be contention about unions, but I think we're all unified in saying, Laura, love your work.
Oh.
How can we hear about it, please?
You can find all the stuff I'm doing at Laura K. Buzz pretty much everywhere on the internet. There is an episode of Accessibility going up this week in which I talk about the British Sign Language Gaming Glossary, which is trying to standardize British Sign Language signs for video game companies, consoles, gaming-related terms. It's a really interesting thing that I hope people check out. I also posted a half-an-hour autistic info dump video where I talk about the scrapped 5th My Chemical Romance album and the weird road that led to us knowing that there are 11 tracks floating around in private collector hands that are just being passed around but no one can hear. It is a thing I have endless ability to talk about, and I threw half an hour of that onto the internet, so you can go check that out on YouTube. Laura K. Buzz, you'll find all the stuff I'm up to. What about you, Conrad? Where are you out on the internet?
Oh, you can find me at Conrad Zimmerman on Blue Sky, and you can hang out with me on Twitch at twitch.tv/thatconradzimmerman, where I'm on Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays. You can buy anti-capitalist propaganda and Jimquisition merchandise at mercenarycreative.com, and everything I do online gets supported through Patreon at patreon.com/fistshark. And you know who else has a Patreon? Stephanie Sterling.
That is so correct. Patreon.com/The Jimquisition, which supports this podcast. Reviews on thejimquisition.com. We'll have a Code Violet review up soon. And the show Hi Steph, as we now call it, Jimquisition/Hi Steph. A new script has been written. If you thought the mic drop that I aimed at YouTube before my hiatus was brutal, you're in for a treat, let me say that. So yeah, new script written, should have that coming in the near future. Thank you as always for folks who've supported me and been really supportive about moving from a regular weekly schedule to something more manageable. That was a thing that after doing for so long, I was nervous about doing, but people have just vocalized so much support and well-wishing for that, so thank you all so much. Other than that, you can check out my work in Date Everything, Vampire Survivors, and Quantum Witch. Later this year, Vampire Survivors The Grimoire will be coming out, a lore book co-authored by myself and Paul Davies. And that's it. We will see you next time. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.